Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Thursday, June 16th, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. Alright, so we are still in the gibbous phase, which is the supportive phase of the lunar cycle. So roughly about a week and a half, we had the new beginning and the challenges of that earlier in the week and perhaps last weekend. So there's a support, and support is basically just a bit of momentum that perhaps we're building in our lives, and perhaps even with some awareness, because as we approach the full moon, which will be over late weekend, Sunday night, Monday morning, but as we approach the weekend, we are going to feel a bit more of this awareness, a bit more of this energy, and perhaps momentum as well from whatever it is we're either cultivating, thinking about, or pursuing in life. So that's going to be seen today by the moon shifting into Libra. And this is coming out of Virgo these past few days, which is much more about the analytical energy. It was much more about taking care of business, probably our personal development as well. You know, health, diet, routine, all that kind of stuff. But here about midday, the moon's shifting into Libra. So this is the energy about balance in our life. And I think as the second half of the day unfolds, asking ourselves where we can have more balance. Where can we have more harmony? And a lot of it is what we're already reflecting on, because Mars has already been retrograde in Libra. We're reflecting on all these things. You know, what really motivates us in life, and what we can do to have more of this peace and harmony and balance. So all the different areas of life are balanced. Now, the other side of Libra too is it often does pull on relationships or interpersonal connections, and that's where cooperation really becomes important. So I think the second half and going into tomorrow, it's great for cooperation, finding the middle path with that, seeing where we can work with others, and find that even keel. So that's going to be the backdrop with the moon. Of course, the sun and Venus are still very much in Taurus, and that's been this whole lunar cycle of awareness about what we value in life, what we want to cultivate, what we enjoy, and even our sense of self-worth has been cultivating as well. So there's still a lot of awareness about that. Still great for focus here. Being grateful for what we have can go a long ways. Still information or insights about relationships coming into the picture with Venus so close to the sun still. And we could be thinking about these earthly things with Mercury in Taurus also. It's also good to kind of work with that as well. So that's the backdrops. In terms of the aspects, we don't have any major aspects going exact today, but some nice aspects with the moon. As you can see here early in the day, the moon is going to be trining up to Neptune. And this is actually nice to have this because as we approach this weekend, Saturn begins to square up to Neptune exact. And this has been more of the uncertainty about the structures in our life. Uncertainty about what we're building, what we have been building, and even the future. So the key with this, as I've been talking about, is about letting go and detaching from the things that are not in our immediate control. And in that way, there's a lot of peace with this. And this also makes it great for spiritual development. Whether it's meditation, yoga, things like that, can really help us connect to the present moment because we're really called to do that now. You know, otherwise there can be a lot of confusion if we're getting too caught up into the mental side of our life, of particularly the structures of our life and maybe the future. So this is going to be the challenging aspect over the weekend. It's nothing new. We've been experiencing this since November. But it is going within that orb for the second time here over the weekend. But today, the moon trining up to Neptune could mean a bit of that ease. Okay, maybe on some level, an openness to let go, an openness to detach, to go with the flow, an easygoingness about the day perhaps. All right, so I think that's great. And again, very supportive for anything that does involve those spiritual activities. Now, the moon is going to be sextiling up to both the Jupiter North Node conjunction and Pluto today, so there is an opening the second half, an opportunity here, and on one level with the North Node and Jupiter in Leo, perhaps to tap into a bit of this expansive energy, this worldview, seeing what's possible, opening that up a little bit, because what we're learning about is what really gives us joy in life, what really is close to the heart, and how we can cultivate these things. But again, it's all very new. It's been this new shift with the North Node shifting into Leo this year. Jupiter recently in Leo. We're learning a lot about our self-expression, what gives us interest. And I think it's a great day for that. So experimenting with it, learning, it's a great day for that, especially for philosophical studies or spiritual studies. maybe going for a walk, nature, anything that taps into that adventurous spirit. And that could be on that physical level, such as through nature or for a walk, but also on the spiritual level or philosophical level with Jupiter. Now, the other side of that is Pluto, and this has been Pluto in Sagittarius, very similar to that Jupiter energy, but Pluto's been trining up to Jupiter. So this is where it's been very positive for us to make change in our life, particularly with our worldview, to see things in a new light, see things in a different perspective. And I think that can be great, really changing the way we see things. And with the emotional body, perhaps an opportunity to get deep and open. There's an opening for that. And I think with the moon, which is our inner selves, our emotions, things can be perhaps deep and intimate, both with ourselves and perhaps in those interpersonal relationships as the moon does shift into Libra. All right, so that's the strongest energy of the day, probably these lunar aspects and that Saturn squaring up to Neptune, still working on that spiritual development. And also from yesterday too, the sun will still be squaring up to Chiron within that 1 degree orb. So if there was anything that you're feeling like was going through a healing yesterday regarding your values, regarding your sense of self-worth, what you can cultivate, maybe even with your self-expression, which is that sun in Taurus, that's still being integrated into today. So the key with this is acceptance, of course, and doing that acceptance work, accepting self, again, accepting things for how they are, which is that Neptune energy as well, can I think help and integrate this healing energy. And I think there could even be a rejuvenation perhaps from yesterday's Sun square Chiron. All right, so that's the general energy. Definitely opportunities. Could be easy going with that moon trining up to Neptune. Opportunities particularly to expand our horizons a bit, see what's possible, tap into that expansive view, connect to what really matters in life, that deep connection with Pluto. And of course, with the moon shifting into Libra, balance and harmony. And asking ourselves perhaps where we can implement a bit more of this harmony in our lives. All right, so I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.